Single men do not approach women in the wild. I would love nothing more than a guy to approach me.
Dudes that complain that they just don't want to approach women anymore because they think they're going to be slapped with sexual harassment.
Men need to toughen up, and I think if men were forced to be homeless, they would learn how to be better.
Approaching a woman today is simply not worth the risk.
Okay, reason why a woman over 40 can't find a man because they're stuck in their ways.
So the question I have for men, what are you wanting the girls to bring to the table?
Dating in your 40s, I mean maybe 30s too, I don't know. It's really hard.
Your time has passed. You just simply let it slip away.
One's for all the dudes that complain that they just don't want to approach women anymore because they think they're going to be slapped with sexual harassment. Guys, you are making a mountain out of a molehill. You understand that that is worst possible case scenario. And the likelihood of it actually happening is very, very, very slim. What's more likely to happen is that if you approach a woman and she is just not interested for whatever reason, which could be one of many reasons, mind you, she will likely just politely let you down easy. In my professional opinion, that's worth taking the 5 seconds out of your day to go up to the woman that you're interested in and say hello. Being all angry, butthurt in the comments, and just swearing off women and dating altogether is not helping you. It's only making your mental health worse.
Why is it assumed that most men are scared to approach women? Most of us aren't scared. We are just fed up with the entitled, toxic feminist attitude. Actually, my mental health is so much more improved. Since ditching the idea of getting into a relationship, life is simpler and calmer. Better to be alone and not living with the fear of one day end up in jail. We understand that only 1 in 10 women will do something awful to us. Unfortunately, we have no idea which one woman it is, so we act accordingly. It's never because of their nasty attitude. It's always because that men are afraid to approach. They never think to themselves, maybe if I just act like a woman, I would get more men to approach me. And I'm pretty sure most men who are choosing not to approach women have less stress and less mental stress to worry about. Now watch this man explain his experience approaching a woman.
Last weekend I went to this bar and I approached this girl that was with her friend. I thought she was really cute and I thought I would go over and say hi. As soon as I went up to her, she gave me the dirtiest fucking look any girl's ever given me. I was like, what the hell? And she was like, no, 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 no. And I was like, I just walked away. But that right there is why so many guys are afraid of approaching women. That's literally the reason why a lot of guys don't do it.
Walking up to others to chat is how we used to meet people, even if it didn't turn out to be a match. How we met friends. Sadly, not the case anymore. Honestly, that woman did him a favor. She can keep that nasty attitude to herself. What type of guy who would want to deal with that anyway?
Men need to toughen up, and I think if men were forced to be homeless, they would learn how to be better men.
Say what?
Because that's what made men manly in the past, was having to build houses and stuff.
And stuff. Yeah, that's not what made men manly.
If we just made men be homeless for like a year, I think it would fix a lot of problems.
That would be
society.
so good, especially because we don't force men to do military anymore like they used to. They make them homeless for a year. Let's see how they fucking
make them just figure it out.
What? No, they can't be serious.
And make them homeless in a country where they don't know the language, and that way they really have to go through something, and then maybe they can like
be appreciative.
Wait, so what if we apply that same logic to women to toughen them up a little bit and give them a good dose of the reality that they actually live in? You know, take their rights away for a year so they can actually understand how not oppressed they really are in this country. Oh, wait, that probably wouldn't go over very well, would it? No. But then again, hearing stuff like this come out of some women's mouths does make me really appreciate how some can actually perceive women as illogical and irrational.
These women are just simply crazy. They just really enjoy seeing the suffering and struggles of men. And even if they did send men to another country, they would just become passport bros. There's definitely better women over there than the West. I really wonder what possessed them to say that. They might not be aware of this, but men have pretty much built the world that they're living in. These podcasts needs to get shut down.
Why do you think guys are afraid to approach girls in public?
Maybe insecurity, or maybe wondering if they're taken already or something like that.
Very shy and like afraid of getting rejected.
Over 50% of men haven't approached a woman in the last year. Is that surprising to you?
Yes, that's really surprising.
What would you say to a guy if he is too nervous or too shy to approach a girl?
I guess I never thought about it.
Fuck it. Like, the worst thing they're gonna say is no. Just move on, go to the next girl.
There's no doubt that some men might be skeptical about approaching a woman, but most of them just aren't willing to take the risk for obvious reasons. That's why they're getting their passport and going overseas. I don't even think it's fear of rejection. It's the disrespect that comes along with it.
I want to be approached. I definitely want to be approached. I would love nothing more than a guy to approach me, to have the balls to come up and say, hey, how are you?
Okay, reason why women over 40 can't find a man, because they're stuck in their ways. Because some other man treat them bad and ruin their mind mentally, and mentally she hasn't decluttered from what the other man did. And a lot of the women they're delusional. They have unrealistic expectation, thinking somebody's gonna come and save them. A lot of women, they can't change because mentally they all of a sudden they know they work, but they didn't know they worked 10 years ago. And a lot of them thinking that they could pull a man that they could pull when they were younger, and it's just not that case. Unrealistic. Some of them are very unrealistic and delusional. And a lot of these women that's delusional, they don't look good. They simply don't look good. They're unable to pull the men that they want to pull. A lot of them had let themselves go. Talking to some of those women in their 40s, talking to a doorknob. They don't do anything, okay? And they're very aggressive. A lot of them are very aggressive, okay? Ignorant. Can't change them. So, guys, let me just tell you, stay away from them. Stay awake. Hope I was able to answer your question, guys.
This is so accurate. When these women are in their 20s, their expectations are over the roof. But as they age, their list of demands starts to decrease also. There are some women who are still in their 40s thinking they can get a man whenever they want, get married whenever they want. Those women are what's called delusional women. They've hit the wall hard and still haven't woken up from their dream.
Looking under hashtag sex strike is a total white pill. Like, yes, slay, queen, abstinence. If you need abortion, if you're gonna get pregnant, then don't have sex. Like, yes, please do that. I mean, honestly.
I am sick. I am sick of your shit. And when I'm not sick, I'm tired. I am sick and tired.
What do you bring to the table? So the question I have is for men. What are you wanting the girls to bring to the table? There's been a ton of guys in some of the comments on my previous posts throwing out, well, what do the women bring to the table? What do they do? What are they going to bring to the table? You guys expect so much from men. I'm going to throw it back to the men. What are you wanting the woman to bring to the table? Are you wanting 50-50 as far as paying for household bills or providing for the family? Are you wanting 50-50 and taking care of the kids? What are the things you're looking for your partner to bring to the table when you throw out big comments like that? It doesn't seem like that hard of a question or thing to think through, but I want to know, what are you wanting the woman to bring to the table? Let me know.
A lot of women come into the relationships and just wants to take. Some men are looking for different things: equal effort, respect, support, participation in the household. There's a ton more. You guys let me know in the comments.
I don't know who needs to hear this morning, but this is your sign to go be a hoe, okay? It's hoe summer, hoe it up, do it up, and if you need any advice from a former hoe, hit a hoe up.
And then they wonder why men today won't marry them. They just want to give all the bad boys the goodies, and then later on in life, give the nice guys the leftovers. And this is a woman who looks like she's in her 50s. She should be married. She must still think she got time. Oh, my apologies. I forget sometimes some of them are still in Delulu land.
Hey, I'ma keep it real with y'all. I get no bitches. Absolutely zero play. Guys offer so little to begin with, they should at least be hot.
It's like, if you're not funny or hot, then what the hell are you doing here?
What are you doing here? Trader Joe's is the only good man in LA.
Joseph is the only guy that I ever want to date.
Girls are just hotter than men generally. We can't change it, you know? We just have to come to terms with it, sadly.
3s and 4s trying to shame men. What a joke.
So I posted a couple videos recently talking about modern women and what their standards are and what modern women are looking for. And I've gotten a lot of comments from men saying that they are not looking for a modern woman. They want a traditional woman and that there aren't enough of them out there. So that had me thinking, like, well, what is the difference between a modern woman and a traditional woman? I wrote some notes here to distinguish the difference. A modern woman is someone who's independent. She has a full-time career. She prioritizes career and education over family and children. She is strong and wants to be taken seriously. And you'll probably hear her say things like, I don't need no man to support me and never depend on a man. A traditional woman is someone who focuses on family and children. She cooks and she cleans. She knows how to take care of her man mentally, emotionally, and physically. She's graceful and nurturing and, I'm gonna say it, submissive. So, for all the modern women out there, I hear all the time that they want a traditional man, but it's sounding to me like traditional men don't actually want modern women. And I can't tell you how many times I hear women say they don't cook, they don't clean, but yet they want a man to pay all their bills. So I'm just curious, women, do you consider yourself modern or traditional? And what kind of man are you actually looking for? And for men, what are the qualities that you're looking for in a woman if it's not a modern woman?
Exactly. No man wants a modern woman because they have become men themselves. Overall, modern women are selfish. They offer so little to the relationship and expect princess treatment just because they're a woman. Why would a man put up with that when he can find a feminine woman overseas? It's just not worth it.
Question, do y'all boys actually ask someone to be your girlfriend anymore? Like, you don't even have to buy anything. I don't think y'all realize how easy it is to make us happy.
Has this chick been in a coma for the past 6 fucking years?
That's correct.
This is why men don't pursue women anymore. Because so many men are on dating apps nowadays. It has given them this illusion of an unlimited choice in women. So when men go out to bars or restaurants, they are not pursuing women anymore. Because they know that when they go home, they will have the backup of the dating app.
If only dating apps worked that way for men, they actually work like that for women. Because the reality is, men could swipe all day, swiping like on all of those women. And he is lucky to get 1 or 2 matches. Men stop pursuing women because us ladies told them to stop. We complained every single time a man has approached us. We have done things like give him our boyfriend's number, or yell at him, or overall show that we're bothered by him approaching. And a lot of men want to respect our boundaries, want us to feel comfortable. So for the majority of men, the potential of making us uncomfortable is not worth it to them, so they're not gonna even bother approaching us. Men also don't want to pursue us if we're not gonna make any effort in return. At that point, it's just a waste of time, and he could spend that time pursuing his hobbies or building his career.
I gave up because I am tired of being yelled at for just saying hi. Wait a sec. Men get messages from women on dating apps. We got told to stop approaching, so we did. Now that's wrong. I just work and work out. It took a while, but I'm fine being alone. It comes with a sense of freedom and peace. Another reason is because being ignored when you swipe right on a dating app is better than being insulted when you approach a woman face to face. It's not the dating apps. We are just tired of your unreasonable wants and needs, so we are better off staying single and keeping our money. That is incorrect. Even on dating apps, men still struggle to find a match, and if they do, sometimes they're being ghosted. Women on dating apps have way more options than men, and it's really because these women are just swiping on the top earners. Most importantly, this was their wish, and now they're complaining about it.
Dating in your 40s, I mean maybe 30s too, I don't know. It's really hard. I feel like that, you know, you go in and at this point, everybody has baggage, right? You know, you've lived your life, you've been dating for most people, for half your life or been in some kind of relationship or taken a break from relationships. And a lot of times by this point, you both have kind of gotten set in your ways, or you're used to things a certain way. You know what you want, but then you also, you know, maybe want a relationship too. So then it's like you try to be agreeable, or you try to find someone that will work, you'll work well together, you know, like the perfectly imperfect, right? But it is so hard. I recently got out of a relationship and things seemed to be going really well. And then we got to know each other a little bit more. And then all of a sudden, like, I just realized that we're not quite as compatible as what I thought. And it's like you get invested and you spend this time, and then with the person that you're wanting to get to know or spending time with, and you like plan things and like thinking about like, well, the what ifs and like what could be, and you know, and it sucks. Like when you realize that it's not going to work out, because then it's like each time that happens, it's like you have this mini grief period of like, well, that's not going to work out. And I can see why sometimes people are just like, they don't want to go through it anymore. And they're just like, yeah, I'm done with dating. But then I'm like, so the alternative is then you get to this point of where at this age, most people, they're busy with their significant other. So whether they are married or in a serious relationship or have kids or families, whatever. And so it's like, if you want to have people to hang out with or to spend time with, like, they're not really as available as what they were, like, you know, in 20s or even early 30s. I don't know what the answer is. I mean, I can see why some people are single for like a long period of time. It's not fun.
Whenever you hear a woman is dating in her 40s, ask her what she was doing in her 20s. Honestly, these women that are in their 40s and single are just walking red flags. What happened that in the course of 20 years that no man wanted to marry you? This is very important to ask because you are learning about her character, the type of person she is. Or better yet, don't date a woman in her 40s unless you want to carry their baggages. They've brought this on themselves.
Where do you live?
In the city.
Do you have a house?
Apartment.
On a rent?
Rent.
What do you do for a living?
Lots of things.
Where's your office?
I don't have one.
How come?
I don't need one.
Where's your wife?
Don't have one.
How come?
It's a long story.
Do you have kids?
No, I don't.
How come?
It's an even longer story.
Do you want to know why dating over 40 is so difficult for some people? Let me give you the #1 reason why this is happening. Most people that are over 40, they kind of have a jaded and checkered past. This keeps them from being open and emotionally available, and it leaves them afraid that they're going to be hurt again. But what has to happen is they must realize that love, it's risky. In order for it not to be so challenging for them, they have to be able to lose that adverse attitude about that risk. Because ultimately, the biggest risk that they have to face is being alone. Because the older you get, the smaller your pool gets. Now to some, that's not a risk at all. But isn't it better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all? I hope this helps.
So it's been brought to my attention that men no longer want to come up to women anymore. Due to sex allegations, women being just so rude and disrespectful, and rejection. I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know men didn't want to come up to women anymore. I'm barely finding this out. Why do women choose to cuss guys out when they come up to them and approach them? I have no idea. I apologize for that. But there's just too many fine men. And if it takes me, the women, having to come up to you guys and shooting my shot, saying what's up, being the big stepper, then I'll just have to do that. And I'm going to just start coming up to you guys and shooting out compliments and see where it takes me. So if I start coming up to y'all in the grocery store and I say, "Excuse me, sir, you are just so sexy," I want a response. Okay, I don't want none of that shy stuff.
I'd be down with that. I don't mind a woman approaching me at all. Typically, I'm too busy to bother with approaching women. Yeah, I won't approach now. Not even online dating will I give any more than a like. The world has changed. Much respect always. It's true, I'm just tired of getting hurt, so I gave up. If it happens, it happens. I'll be ready, but for now, I'm single like a Pringle. I'm 45 and I don't talk to women anymore. Been single for 12 years and not at all interested. That's correct. No man wants to deal with false allegations for approaching a woman. All this is telling you, fellas, is just to focus on yourself and better yourself every day. The day will come when they will come crawling back. You do not have time to waste on women. You will always be a prize as long as you improve on yourself. If you waste your time chasing women, you will regret it for the rest of your life.